host of the Gridiron.
Welcome to the Gridiron, baby. If you can give this video a thumbs up and maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking phenomenal. Seriously, though. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. It's totally free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you want to help support my channel, the description box below, very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. Once again, I thank you in advance. Thank you. And finally, just underneath that, there's another link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,500 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing and if I got internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. Well, here we go. Well, out here in southern Jersey land, it's game day. It's 1 o'clock. It's only 1 o'clock in the morning. Whoever's watching, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. We're gonna go over a little bit of a preview of the football game. Hopefully, the Giants try to avoid going 0-9. The 28th, obviously, of December was they had three games put on. Yeah, 3 good games. Well, except for one. I mean, the Chargers blew out the Patriots. What a trash bowl that one was. But that's another story for another day, right? Harbaugh, how he changed right? I mean, they were 5-12 last year, I think. Now they're possibly going to the playoffs. So, I mean, I think they're 10-6 right now. Not bad. Anyway. But they could have had the 66th anniversary of the 58 championship game on, but they chose not to. I understand. I mean, just to go out to the absolute trash Giant. I mean, I put the Patriots on, but I mean, I guess they chose not to. I guess. So it's 1 o'clock. It's in 12 hours from now. I guess the kickoff will be a little less than 12 hours from now. So I'll go over a preview of that. But one thing I was watching was I wasn't really watching the game because I got to get my notes ready for the show and all that stuff and everything, and watching Shedeur, following a little bit on my phone, kind of watching whatever the bowl game. I don't even bother trying to keep up with half these bowls. It's just ridiculous. They got one of them. I think this the Cam Ward game. I think was the Pop-Tart Bowl. I mean, are you kidding me? I can't. Once again, I'm an old fart, so please forgive me. I can't stand that stuff, man. It's just the Tampax Tampon Bowl. It's just, come on, man. Anyway, once again, I'm an old fart. I'm an old timer. I like it the way it was, not the way it is now. Once again, so please forgive me. You might be like me sometime, but following right on my phone, right, with what Colorado was doing. I mean, it was not pretty. I mean, it was not pretty. They were down. Was it 20-0, and then it was 20-7. Then it was 27-7. I think one time it got to be like 36-7 or something along those lines, or maybe it was 28-30. Yeah, it was 27-7, and somehow we got up to like 36-7, and then Shedeur drove them down like in pretty much garbage time. So I think they scored a touchdown with like 2 minutes to go or something like that. Just trash time. I mean, they're down by 1,800 points. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. But I mean, with about 10 minutes to go, and actually I posted this in my Facebook group. I was just checking it out. Yeah. Hunter, with about 10 minutes to go in the game, and once again, they're down whatever. It was 27 or maybe 37 or something like that. They were down by a lot. Shedeur Sanders had 121 yards passing with about 10 minutes to go in the game. 106 of that was to Hunter. So basically, other than Hunter, he had 15 yards passing. He had 4 completions to Hunter at that particular time with 10 minutes to go in the game. 4 for 106 yards, right? But so other than that, he had 15 yards passing. It's kind of like, if he does this against Brigham Young, what's he going to do when he plays on a trash team like the Giants, behind a trash offensive line? What's he going to do then? I mean, so it also makes you beg to differ. I mean, now with Cam Ward in his bowl game, we don't know. He didn't play the second half. I mean, I was looking in there. Was he injured? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. He chose not to play in the second half. Not exactly why. Apparently, he was not made. He has been made available to the media since the Syracuse game. But he did play in the first half of that one. I'm almost dying. Is this the Pop-Tart Bowl or no? This is the Pop-Tart Bowl. Yeah, Pop-Tart Bowl. Good for Iowa State. I mean, I'll tell you what, want to be in a heck of a game. 42-41. I'll tell you what. I'm going to pass on making comments on the Pop-Tart Bowl, but wound up being a heck of a football game. Now, the thing is that, when Cam was in there, he did really good. In the first half, 3 touchdown passes. What was he? Was he 12 out of 19? Let's see here. Okay, box score. So in the first half, Cam Ward was 12 out of 19, 190 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Averaged 10 yards a pass attempt. Through 19 passes, wound up with 190 yards. That's very impressive. So, of course, if you're just going to double that, just say, because he didn't play in the second half, they had Emory Williams in there, who was 5 out of 14 for 26 yards in the second half. He 1.9 yards a pass attempt, which is the Giants aren't even that bad. He had no touchdowns and 1 interception, and basically that's why Miami, or one of the huge reasons, they only scored 10 points in the second half. Now, had Cam Ward been in there, quite possibly they would have won. They wound up losing 42-41 at one point. But I mean, if you want to double Cam's efforts, he was on pace for 380 yards passing and 6 touchdowns with no interceptions. Now, against the Iowa State Cyclones, who were number 18 in the country. So, so he had a very good game. Shedeur, not so. Once again, it was just a game. One game was a bowl game, all that stuff and everything. But makes you ask yourself a question. I'm going to share my screen here. I mean, once again, this is just PFF. It's all we're going by, right? It's all, yeah. But you start looking, they have one quarterback with the first round grade. Then Cam is number, I think 25. No, 25? Close to 25. Might be 25 or 22 or something like that. Ain't nowhere near the top. Nowhere. So if the Giants are picking first or third or fifth, say we win a game, right? We pop back to fifth or sixth or something like that. You remember fifth or sixth? Is there a quarterback out there worthy of taking at pick number 5? I mean, I was hearing all kinds of things about Jalen Milroe. Like he has a lot of potential, right? Like he has room to grow, maybe more room to grow than these other. Right, so maybe take a flyer on him. Maybe if he gets to the second round or something, because we've seen how this last draft went. Right now to some degree, all of a sudden you got Penix, was supposed to be like a late first, maybe a second round, and all the quarterbacks got scoffed up in the first whatever. right? But you also do see that, you know, a couple of them not too shabby, right? Not too, especially Penix, right? His one problem was being able to stay healthy. So we'll have to wait and see if the guy can stay healthy. We need quarterbacks. So I hope the guy can stay healthy. I mean, there's nothing worse in a league, right? Than you go out and have a team, you know, a good team, a good quarterback, and you got a team that has no quarterback and they go play football. It's kind of like, sometimes it's just not very competitive. So we need quarterbacks. So I hope Michael Penix says it. I wasn't hoping it was last Sunday that he had a good game, but hope he has a good career. Hope he can stay healthy. But as I said, I mean, if the Giants are picking, especially if they're picking first, are they coming in? I'm coming at you. It's 3D. Are they reaching? Or should they be like, you know, maybe taking somebody, yeah. Usually they say best player available. Oh, should they take that? You know what I mean? Because if they're telling you best player available, and they're grabbing a quarterback, are they lying to you? Hey, so let me share your screen. And once again, it's just PFF. That's all I'm going by. I don't sit here. I don't have time to watch film and break down this and that and all that other stuff. Don't do that. Never going to do that. Other people do that, and I'm so thankful for that. Right? So I take the other people's, Mel Kiper and all guys like that and all that. I take their, right? But so let's look at PFF and just where they got these guys graded at. So let me share my screen here. Should be. No. Once again, I got 300 different tabs open. Here we go. Here we go. The NFL Draft Big Board. Here we go. All right. Okay. Now, of course, Travis Hunter is number one. Now, interesting, very interesting. I mean, you're not putting this guy in here, especially if the Giants were to draft him. My God, all we're going to go over this a little bit more in depth and detail, a little more down our program here, all right? But you're not going to draft somebody, put him on the New York Football Giants and have him play both ways. I mean, you might as well just break both the guy's legs and just put him in the hospital and just have him retire, because he's never going to hold up. Nobody on the Giants team is holding up. No, once again, I'm going to show you, right? I mean, it's an absolute joke. So, be interesting to see with Travis Hunter. They have him on the offensive side. They put him on the defensive side. Interesting. I mean, obviously, if they put him on the cornerback, do they bring him in maybe for 3 or 4 passing plays a game, 5 passing plays a game, or something like that? Sure, yeah, I could see that. But the guy's not going both ways. I'm saying, but if you see here, let's just start scrolling down here. Right? Obviously, got Travis Hunter, number one. Okay. And of course, even here, all right. I mean, right. Let's see here. You got him at cornerback. He's the 7th ranked cornerback. I'm not gonna. I'll do stuff later on that breaks down each position and all of that. Right. What PFF has, but. Then we go to, and please forgive me because I am a moron. I don't follow college football that in depth and detail. So some of these guys are not that familiar to me, and I might pronounce their name wrong because, once again, I am a moron. So please forgive me. Right. But then, right, we got Hunter. We did very good at wide receiver as well, but they have him down there as cornerback. Then we have McMillan, another wide receiver. So we got Hunter, possibly a wide receiver. McMillan from Arizona, wide receiver. Then we got this guy here, Graham. Now, I'll tell you what, if I'm a Giant, if this guy is all of that and a bag of donuts, let me tell you what, if we're drafting one, I'm thinking hot and heavy about drafting this guy, number one overall. If he's that good, put him in next to Sexy. Let's get that front wall. I did a video on this too, because Dan Orlovsky brought this up, and it's a great point. Everything starts in the trenches. You start in the trenches and you work your way out. You don't want. Let's not get this and that and everything, and let's not window dress everything on the outside. And I forgot, our offensive line blows, right? Or we have a hole at the defense. No, start in the trenches and work your way out. Now you might have a golden opportunity here if this guy is all of that. All right. Mason Graham. Put somebody in next to Sexy when Sexy's still in his prime, right? And get that front defensive wall. It all starts in the trenches. I'm drafting this guy right here if he's that good. And I'm worrying about a quarterback later on. But you also got to remember too is that also free agency is going to be before the draft, and the Giants might do something in free agency as far as bringing a quarterback in, so a bridge quarterback. So you don't know. But all right, let's just continue on here. We got Ashton Genty, I think Genty, a half belt. Oh my God! Oh, this guy. Oh my God, this freaking guy. Oh my God. Yeah, I should know what his name is, but this guy is unbelievable. Yeah, he's I'm sure he'll be a running back taken in the first round. The guy is unbelievable. Abdul Carter, another edge rusher, another quarterback. Well, I tell you what, you got to give Wink some credit here. He's got quite a few Michigan defensive players up in the top first round. Let me tell you what, right? So we got we got Graham here. Let's check out Wink's defense. You got Graham. Now, of course, Wink didn't draft these guys. He's kind of helped developing them. But we got Abdul Carter, an edge. Then we got Will Johnson, a cornerback. He's supposed to be really good as well, too. Starks, a safety. Campbell, a tackle from LSU. Luther Burden, the third from Missouri, wide receiver. Scarleton, at Texas A&M, an edge rusher. Banks Jr., a tackle from Texas. Jalen Walker, a linebacker from Georgia. Josh Simmons, a tackle from Ohio State. Egbuka, a wide receiver from Ohio State. Ursary, I'm going to say from Minnesota, a tackle. Millam from West Virginia, another tackle. A lot of tackles there. Morrison, the cornerback from Notre Dame. That's my team. Right? Then we got Loveland, tight end from Michigan. So Michigan, even though their record was not phenomenal, they got some guys up here. Oh, Cam Ward, number 19. Number 19, Cam Ward. Okay. That's their highest rated quarterback. And then we got Williams. Oh, two Williams, back-to-back Williams. And then we got Grant, another defensive player. So Wink's got three, according to PFF, three of the top 22 ranked players in on the draft board as far as defensive players. So Wink's got some players. Let me tell you what. But these guys were drafted by Harbaugh. So once these good guys start going, let's see how the Michigan defense starts playing. But anyway, then we got Stewart, an edge, Hampton, a halfback from North Carolina, a Yamanor, a wide receiver from Stanford. So that's the first 25. They had one quarterback. All right, then I'm just going to scroll real fast. Right, we'll look for Shedeur, number 29. So barely a first-round grade. He's the 29th ranked guy. And then let's see if I can see Jalen Milroe's even on here. Jalen Milroe. Where is Xavier Watts? Good old Notre Dame. Go Irish. They're probably going to get the doors blown off them by Georgia every time they play in a big bowl game against the big schools, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia. They get their doors blown off. But all right, so that's all right. So let's see. Where is the next quarterback at? Where's Milroe? I passed somebody. Oh, there we go. 52. So Milroe's 52. So Milroe's second round. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. All right. So, all right. So they had two quarterbacks, according to PFF. It's all going by 19, and I'm an idiot. Was it 29 for Shedeur? 29, I think it was 28 or 29. So we're talking late first round grade. And even Cam Ward is not 19. I mean, there's so many other guys, and as you saw on that list, there's so many guys that the Giants could use. I mean, they could. I mean, as crazy as it is, call me crazy. They could use that running back, right? Get Tracy in there, get that other guy in there, right? I mean, of course, I wouldn't be taking a running back in the first round, but there was wide receivers there. We could, if we're going to lose Slayton, if we can't use, for whatever reason, Hyatt, we need a wide receiver, right? There was a safety in there. If we lose Pinnock, there's cornerback in there. There's an edge. There's defensive linemen. There's tackles. All kinds of positions in there in that first round that would be for Cam Ward, right? So I mean, are they gonna reach? I mean, one of the biggest things, and this is not quite totally apples to apples, but just real fast. 1996, the Giants drafted 5th overall, and they wound up drafting Cedric Jones. All right. Simeon Rice had gotten taken. Now, let's go back to where we had here. I had it up here. Thought I had it up here. No, I did. Nope. Up. There we go. Cedric Jones. Okay. Does it go to the draft? There we go. It goes to the draft. Now, the Giants, right? Simeon Rice got taken. The Giants wanted an edge rusher. They wanted to kind of pair somebody with Michael Strahan. Now, for Cedric Jones, the 2000 Super Bowl, obviously, which was played in 2001 against the Ravens, was his last football game he ever played in. But they wanted to pair somebody with Michael Strahan, right? And Simeon Rice had got taken by Arizona with pick number 3. And the Giants apparently were also enamored with Jonathan Ogden, the Hall of Fame tackle. But he was taken with pick number 4, right in front of the Giants. So basically, with George Young, top 2 guys were pretty much off the board when it came to that. So apparently, like, no matter what, George Young was going to take an edge, I guess, no matter what. Now, he had a problem with his eye. George Young, I saw reading an article, said, yeah, we checked it out and there was no red flags or anything like that. Well, apparently there were, right? Cedric Jones lasted 5 seasons in the NFL. And yeah, so pick number 5 in the draft, the Giants, no matter where taking an edge. Well, I mean, if you look, I mean, there's a lot of good guys. Marvin Harrison was out there. I mean, one of them was, if you're looking for defensive help, right? Ray Lewis was out there as well, too. Right? I could have had him. But so no matter what, it seemed like George Young was going to draft himself an edge rusher. And Cedric Jones wound up having problems with his eye, his one eye, and he can only really kind of rush from one side. So that's what you want. I said he played 5 seasons. And one of the seasons he didn't do too bad. I think in 1999, he had 7.5 sacks. I think he had 5 forced fumbles. I mean, that wasn't too bad. But he got injured after the 2000 season. The Giants never brought him back. He went and played with the Rams. He got injured in preseason, and he never played ever again. But he had a problem with his eye. Right, George Young. I read an article that said, we checked it out, and there was nothing. There was no red flags or nothing like that. So I don't know if George was just kind of hoping and praying there was no red flags or not. But he had a problem with his eye. He can only rush from one side. So they reached, right? They reached. There was an issue, and he got poked in his eye. He had an operation on his eye just before the Giants drafted him, and they reached, and you don't want to reach. You don't want to reach. As I said, he played 5 seasons. He had like 15 to 20 sacks in his career in his 5 seasons. But for number 5 overall pick in the draft, once again, I mean, it's almost like with Evan Neal, right? I can't say we didn't really reach. I mean, I know a lot of people were talking highly of Evan Neal, but you're picking that high, you gotta hit on the guy. You gotta. And I said, it's with these quarterbacks here is that especially if we're picking number 1, man. You know how many years we're going to be set back if we? I'm just saying, I don't know. You know how many years we're going to be set back if you take Shedeur? I'm just saying. We think, hey man, I hope he's better than Patrick Mahomes. I hope, but I'm just saying, if we draft these guys and we reach for them and we're wrong, I mean, I said you look at our cornerbacks, right? We shouldn't have any cornerback problem, right? Because we drafted Eli Apple, right? Tay Banks, right? So, I mean, Eli Apple, I mean, he'd be a little bit, but, taking, some of these cornerbacks, right? We traded up for a cornerback in what was it, the 2019 draft? That guy didn't work out, right? I mean, he should still be on this team. We should have Banks as a solid number one corner. The other guy, right? We drafted in the 2019 draft, right? He should be on the, right? But nope. We're still looking for cornerbacks. Why? Because we're drafting these guys in the first round. They're not working out. Right? We're still looking for tackles. Why? Well, because we keep drafting tackles in the first round. They're not working out. Right? Eric Flowers, right? Evan Neal. And they're just, I mean, once again, if you bring a quarterback in and, it's going to set you back years. The one nice thing is that if you do draft a bridge quarterback, is you kind of you have a history on what he can do in the NFL, right, under certain circumstances and all and everything. So that's I just seen that. I'm like, and I noticed somebody had an article in PFF about or in the Facebook groups. I'm sorry, about PFF, and it's like, it's not like you pop on the top 25 for PFF and 3 of the top 10 players that they have are quarterbacks ranked. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, all right, we take one of these quarterbacks. I mean, just once again, it's all according to PFF. That's all I'm going by. But PFF, all right, seems to think, I mean, you got to go to number 19 before you come up with a quarterback, and then you got to drop another 10 spots. So I don't know. According to PFF, you're drafting a quarterback at number 1. You're doing some reaching. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Obviously, got 2 more games to play. Giants, if they beat the Colts, right, and if the Eagles wind up sitting all their players the final game of the season, the Giants win that one or something. When the Giants wind up plummeting to number 6 or 7 or 8 or something like that, be very interesting. Oh yeah, the quarterback class is a Jets fan. We're probably bang around number 8. Yeah. That means the 4th or 5th. Yeah. Oh, razor thin. Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, because, whether Aaron Rodgers comes back or not, you guys definitely need a quarterback somewhere along the line, too. Absolutely. So, oh, yeah. I mean, this is not a good. I mean, there might be somebody out there maybe you can draft in the second, like Jalen Milroe or something like that, or one of those other guys in the 2nd or 3rd round and maybe develop them. Put them on the bench for a year or something and help start developing them. But if you take your top 10 pick or something and put on one of these quarterbacks, and they can't handle it. Ooh, man, you're setting yourself back freaking years. And speaking of just straight up, this is not just a Giant thing, but this is pretty much right down their alley. I mean, I looked the on their one page from Pro Football Reference, I believe it is. I looked at their injuries so far for this season. The Giants, I mean, guys that are listed as injured, have an injury designation on a particular game, right? Whether they're doubtful, questionable, or out, or whether they got put on IR, right? Or if they have a injury designation, right? I think they have like 57 or 50, including this game here with the Colts. Almost 60 players that have had an injury designation so far this season, and 27 of them are on IR. And that doesn't. And the weird thing is that I read an article, like, once again, what was it? I guess it was maybe Tuesday. Something like it was. I think it was before Christmas that Raheem Lane was being put on IR. I think a torn meniscus, and he's done for the season. Well, now I'm seeing maybe he's not on IR. Maybe he might come. So I don't know. But he has an injury designation, but he's not on IR. But the Giants have, last time I counted, at one point in time, had 27 different guys throughout the whole season that put on IR. Now, a couple of them, like from early on in the season, and they just like maybe it might have been on the practice squad. They were put on, they injured They put him on injury reserve. They let him go. Maybe they paid him, injury payout or something, and they wound up letting him go. Now, I'll read off all the guys here who have been put on IR for the Giants throughout the season. Right? There's 27 of them. I mean, it's just ridiculous. All right, so we got Ryder Anderson. Remember him? He was put on early on and then obviously released. Gary Brightwell, early on, same thing with him. Yadni, I love this name, man. Yadni Kajust. Love that name. IR. Jashawn Corbin, remember him? Early on, early. Chase Cota, right? IR. DJ Davidson. All right, who we got here? Graham Gano, remember what he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He was 7 weeks on the IR. Our kicker. Basically our kicker. He does nothing but kick. He missed almost half the season. He was on IR. Our kicker. That's almost as bad as having a water boy on IR for half the season. Trey Hawkins, Dennis Houston, Deion Jackson. He was early on, like training camp, I guess, or whatever. Tyree Jackson, Deontay Johnson. He was on IR for, my God. And then he took him off IR, and then he's been questionable he was questionable for 3 weeks. I mean, Patrick Johnson just got put on IR. Theo Johnson, right? Greg Joseph, Sexy Dexy, Isaiah McKenzie. Let's see, Tyler Newbin, unfortunately. Azeez Ojulari, there's a shocker there. Bobby Okereke, Gunnar Olszewski. I mean, did something to his groin. I mean, I don't know if somebody literally just ripped his groin out of his crotch or something. I don't know. It's just I can't even talk sometimes. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I have no idea. But these guys are a epitome of health and all this stuff, and a punt returner just is gone for the whole. I mean, I can't even talk, man. It's just unbelievable. Elijah Riley, John Runyon Jr., Austin Schlotman, however you want to pronounce it. Kayvon, right? Andrew Thomas and Armand Watts. And I said, Raheem Lane, I thought was supposed to be somewhere on here as far as an injury reserve, but he's apparently out for this game coming up. Now, they apparently have not put him on IR. I thought they did. I read an article earlier in the week where Raheem Lane was put on IR. But apparently that's not the case. So he would have been the 28th guy on IR. But we got 27 guys put on IR. All right, so I'm gonna rattle off. Let's see, I'm gonna count off. I think it's 57 guys that we've had injury designation for so far this season. Right. This, of course, this includes the guys on IR. So we got Matthew Adams, Ryder Anderson, Deontay Banks, Dane Belton, Gary Brightwell, Brian Burns, Yanni Kajust. Jashawn Corbin, Chase Cota, DJ Davidson, Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan, Jermaine Illuminor, Cordell Flat, Bryce Ford Wheaton, Graham Gano, Jamie the Scottish Hammer, Trey Hawkins, Dennis Houston, Chris Hubbard, Dory Jackson, Deion Jackson, Tyree Jackson. This is unbelievable. You got 3 Jacksons and you got 3 Johnsons, right? Dory Jackson, Deion Jackson, Tyree Jackson, Deontay Johnson, Patrick Johnson, Theo Johnson. Wow. Greg Joseph, Dexter Lawrence, Raheem Lane, Drew Lock, Nick McLeod, Micah McFadden, Isaiah McKenzie, Darius Musav, Malik Neighbors, Evan Neal, Tyler Newbin, Nacho, Azeez Ojulari, Bobby Okereke, Gunnar Olszewski, Andrew Phillip, Jason Pinnock, Elijah Riley, Jordan Riley, John Runyon Jr., Austin Schlotman, however you want to pronounce it, John Michael Schmitz, Devin Singletary, Darius Slayton, Aaron Stinney, Greg Stroman, Ty Summers, Kayvon Thibodeau, Andrew Thomas, Tyrone Tracy Jr., Armand Watts, D. Williams. I think I read that was 57 guys the New York Giants have had, 57 on injured. That includes this week here. I've had an injury designation. Now, just to show you, because I hate the Eagles, right? But just go to show you, okay, we want to compare, okay? So to have that many, you'd possibly doing something wrong, but you also have to be unlucky, right? Compared to the Eagles, who possibly have to be doing something right, but also are lucky. One of the reasons why, they have a very good team, don't get me wrong, but if they were as totally decimated by injuries as the Giants were, the Eagles would be nowhere they're at, right? So let me go over the Eagles. As I said, the Giants have had 27 guys on IR. The Eagles, okay, it's a much shorter list, so it's not hard for me to go over this here. So let me count the injured reserve guys here. Injured reserve. James Bradbury, he's been out all year for him. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They've had 14 guys on injury reserve. We have 27. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 14. They've had 14 guys. So basically, we've had about twice as many guys on injury. They've had 14. We have 27. As I said, I thought Raheem Lane was on there. So we almost had 28. They have 14. Now, we've had 57 guys with an injury designation throughout this whole season. 57. They have 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 22, 23, 24, 6, 7, 8. They have 29. Right? So basically half. We have 57 guys who have had an injury designation throughout the course of the year. They have 29, just about half. We have 27 guys put on IR. They have 14, once again, half. Now, the other thing that just kind of the kicker right in the crotch for us New Yorker fans, I mean, just basically where you're walking up to a guy, you got no cup on, nothing. You spread your legs and you walk up to another guy and just tell him, please kick me as hard as you can right in my crotch. And the guy goes, all right, sure. He winds up like Ronaldo or maybe Messi. They're pretty good with kicking balls, right? Just line up and just wail away on you, right? One good clean shot in the crotch. And you're down for the next 15 months because you just took a shot to the cojones, right? This just goes to show you what, right? Yeah, when you think of Saquon with the Giants, you think greatness and all that stuff. But you also think, the guy did have a tendency to get injured, didn't he? Yeah, right? Nothing. Eagles, nothing. Not one time any injury, nothing. Not even nothing. An ingrown toenail 1 week, jock itch, nothing. A cold, nothing. With the Giants, he had all kinds of injury designated, this and that and that and that. Eagles, nothing, absolutely nothing. Mekhi Becton, right? The only thing I think of when Mekhi Becton, the guy's like 37 foot tall. He weighs about 75,000 pounds. He's huge, right? Jets took him, in the first round, however many years ago. High draft pick. The only thing I think of him is injuries. And the guy, I remember, I could have swore it was one of the first games, if not the first game of the season, one of those years. He went on the field, whatever, played like a core, something like that, and blew something out or whatever. He missed the whole season. It was just unfreaking believable, the injuries he had with the Jets. Here he comes and plays with the Eagles. He had, let's see. Let me see. What game was it? One injury designation. The guy back then, he was out against Cincinnati. I don't. What do you have? He had a concussion. But when he's with the Jets, I'm curious. Can I pop him up here? Yeah, here we go. Let's pop him up here with the Jets. Let's go check this out. This is going to make me laugh. In 2022, he was out the whole season with a knee injury. The whole season. 2020, you got to give some, okay, well, I was right. Okay, you got to give him some props, right? 2020, That was his rookie year. He played in 14 games, started in 13. So he missed a few games due to injury. Okay, missed a few. All right. But the next season, first week of the season, this is the one I'm thinking of, 2021. He went out, and I don't know what it was. He did. He first game of the season. Didn't say how many snaps he played. No. First game of the season, he went out. He blew his knee out or something like that. He missed all season. So he missed. He missed the final 16 games of the 2021 season. He missed the whole 2022 season. Right. Then he came back and he played last year with the Jets. He played in every game, but I guess he missed just one game. But I mean, he went 2 seasons in a row. 2 seasons in a row. Grand total of 34 games. He played 1 game. Here he comes with the Eagles. He misses 1 game. So that's when you know you're really kind of cursed. Oh yeah, he was injury prone. A huge human being. My God, does it say how tall he was? I mean, I know. He's just big freaking human being. 6'7", 363. Oh yeah, I mean, definitely overweight. Now you also got to kind of wonder. Once again, I remember what he said. Now, of course, you can say this, when you go to a team that's better and all that stuff and everything. But he did say, he said something along the lines of everything about MetLife Stadium stinks. Now, I don't know if he means the fans and the ownership and all of that, but I'm really sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I'm really quite sure he's talking also about the turf as well, too. Now, the one thing is with the Eagles, now I've been in that stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. I can't stand the Eagles, but I got to give them 2 thumbs up. Beautiful stadium. Love the grass. I hate everything else about it, but I love it. It's beautiful stadium. But they got grass, right? The Giants, you got the 2 teams playing there. It's turf. Now they can say all they want, about this, that, and the other thing. A lot of the players seem to really like the grass. It seems to be a lot easier on their joints and all and everything. But you're right. But also, moving them in the guard, obviously that's huge. But they also have a very good offensive line coach. I can't remember. I know the first guy's name's Jeff, and it starts with an S. I can never remember his name, but he's a really good offensive line coach for the Eagles. So he really, it's like the Godfather, Patterson, really helping Sexy Dexy elevate his career, right? You get certain good coaches come in, But that guy, the coach for the Eagles, the offensive line coach, is really, really good. I'm sure he really helped them too. But, that's true. But, some of that, too. It's like when you got these guys that freaking big, not all of them can play tackle, right? So if they have a hard time, slide them inside. We got a big human being, and they're going up against another big human being, right? But they don't have to worry about these edge rushers trying to come around the edge. These freakish athletes, that's what I'm kind of hoping we'll do that with Evan Neal, right? Slide the guy inside, put him in a guard. Let's see what the guy can do, right? But it's just unbelievable. How badly, and another example, kind of in a way, we'll never know exactly, but it's just kind of a small example would be like, just say, I kind of feel, once again, you never know. You can always be one good or two sure. But if the Lions don't make it to the Super Bowl, good chance is the reason why is because of their defense. Their defense has been decimated by injuries. It'd be hard. Now they can score some points, but it's going to be interesting to see if their defense, which has been decimated by injuries, can stop the other. Because they'll have a hard time probably stop the Eagles, and the Eagles would put some points up. Minnesota can put some points up. Green Bay can put some points up. The Commanders can put some points up. So, with the Lions, like in the playoffs, they're going to the playoffs. Now, you don't know if they're going to be the number 1 seed or whatever like that. They still got 2 games left to go. But, they're going to have a hard time maybe stopping some of these. Because, how long has Aiden Hutchinson been out for? I've said this, I don't know how many times. If you look at the Thanksgiving Day game, the Bear-Detroit game, that would wind up being a great game. The second half was great. Whew. But if you looked at that game, it seemed like almost every other play, there was a defensive line, like hobbling off the field. It was, and I can't remember who the announcers were, but they kept bringing it up. The Lions are like thin on the defensive side, and here they go. They just lost another player. So, it really is a shame. I mean, because sometimes it's not, are you good enough, right? Sometimes are you lucky enough, and do you have it? Are you lucky enough? Once again, a lot of the Lion players, maybe they got hurt because they were on turf. Who knows? So maybe the Eagles, and I remember the one year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. They were very, very healthy. Hardly had anybody injured. Once again, quite possibly, maybe it's the grass. Now that I know the Giants have a very difficult time trying to keep grass, and I don't know if Mara is going to, be able to do anything about it or not. But because he said when you have two teams playing on the same surface, as the Giants do, pretty much almost every week. I mean, sometimes the Giants play at 1 o'clock and the Jets are home for Monday night or something like that. That stuff happens. Or the Giants play Thursday and then the Jets play Sunday at 1. That happens. A lot of times it's, Giants play this week at the Met and MetLife, and then the next week it's the Jets, and then the blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's like that. So it's very difficult what he was saying, Mr. Mara was talking about, as far as keeping the playing surface playable, when you have two teams playing there. Now, the Giants, I think it was from 2000, I know it was 2000, but 2000 to 2002 or 2003, they had grass in there. And, of course, they had the Giants and the Jets in there, and it got to be very, very sloppy at times. I know there was a lot of times that Giants would just, like, running, or whoever they were playing, just running, like, large chunks of grass would just come. Like somebody would try to stop, and they would skid, and chunks of grass would go flying. It was very difficult to keep a grass playing surface in good shape when you got two teams playing there. It's very, very difficult. Now, with the Eagles, there's just the one team there. The Commanders, there's just one team there. So I would love to see the Giants or whatever be able to go back to grass. But as far as I guess, as long as there's two teams playing in MetLife Stadium, quite possibly you might have to play with turf all the time. But you got, I don't know. You got to wonder, does the turf have anything to do with it? I mean, as I said, it almost doesn't even matter. I mean, the Giants could have the best team in the NFL. But, I mean, when you got that many injuries, that many guys going on, I don't know. What chances do you really think? I mean, it's so difficult. I know injuries happen to every team, but when you have twice as many injuries as another team, it's like you might be doing something wrong. So, but on to some good news here. All right, good old Eli. Good to you, brother. Yeah, he inches just this much closer. Apparently, he's in the final 15. Right? Thank goodness. Right, the final 15. And it would be great. It would be great. Now, let's see the list here. Let me read over this list here. A group of guys here. They got makes it to the final 15. So Eli moved one step closer to the football immortality Saturday as he was named one of the 15 finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame's class of 2025. Manning, obviously the former number 1 overall pick. Spent his entire 16-year career with the Giants. Guided them, obviously, to 2 Super Bowl wins. So we got Terrell Suggs, Luke Kuechly, Marshall Yanda, Steve Smith, Eric Allen, Antonio Gates, Yari Evans, Jared Allen, Reggie Wayne, Torrey Holt, Willie Anderson, Adam Vinatieri, Darren Woodson, Fred Taylor were the other finalists, with Suggs, Kuechly, Yanda, and Vinatieri in a similar position as Manning as finalists in the first year of their eligibility. Let's see. All right, here we go. So Eli Manning, Antonio Gates, and Reggie Wayne headlines the 2025 Hall of Fame finalists. In the second straight year that Gates has been selected as a finalist, the all-time reception leader in franchise history for the Chargers, Gates finished his career with the most receiving touchdowns by tight end in NFL history with 116. Jeez, God. Selected as a finalist for the 6th time, Wayne is a 6-time Pro Bowler who currently ranks number 10 in receptions at 1,070 in receiving yards at over 14,000 receiving yards. So we got Manning as one of the 5 players that make it as a finalist in his first year of eligibility. So I said, so once again, so we got Eric Allen, who's a cornerback with the Eagles from 88 to 94 and with the Saints for 3 years and then finished up with the Raiders. This is his second season as being a finalist. He was a finalist last season and this year. Jared Allen, who played quite a few different teams. This is his fifth season as a finalist. His first year as a finalist was in 2021, and now this 2025 is his fifth year. Willie Anderson, a tackle. He played with the Bengals from 96 to 2007, with the Baltimore Ravens in 2008. This is his fourth time as being a finalist. Yari Evans, a guard with the Saints for 11 seasons, with the Packers in 2017. This is his fourth time as a finalist. Antonio Gates, once again, as I said, played, a long time. My goodness. Played in from 2003 to 2018. This is his second season as a finalist. Torrey Holt, right? Greatest Show on Turf, right? Isaac Bruce and Falk and Warner and Holt. My God, they can put up some points. He was with the Rams, the Jaguars. This is his sixth time as a finalist. Luke Kuechly is a linebacker. This is his first time. Eli Manning, obviously, right? His first year as a finalist. Steve Smith, the wide receiver from Carolina. This is his first year. Terrell Suggs, this is his first year. 2019 was his final season with the Cardinals. Fred Taylor, this is his second season running back with Jacksonville. He was running back with Coughlin as the coach. He was one of the main reasons why Jacksonville was so good back then. That, they could pass the ball, and they had a good job. Did a good job of running the ball as well too. Vinatieri, right? Kicked for like 312 seasons. Kicked from 1996 to 2019. He kicked for almost 25 years. This is his first year as a finalist. Reggie Wayne, his whole career from 2001 to 2014 with the Colts. This is 6 years being a finalist. Darren Woodson is a safety with the Cowboys. Whole career with the Cowboys. He was their, believe he's their leading tackler of all time, I think. Unless something changed. But he was with the Cowboys from 1992 to 2003. This is his third time as being a finalist. And Marshall Yanda, guard and tackle with the Ravens from 2007 to 2019. This is his first year. So, but Eli's getting there. Right? We're down to the final 15. Hope and pray and all that stuff and everything, and he gets down there. Because the thing is that every year, to me, he'll get in sooner or later. The thing is, is that you want to try to get him in right before it's Tom Brady's turn, before it's Drew Brees' turn, before it's Ben Roethlisberger's turn, or you don't want him going in against maybe one of those other guys, because some of those other guys were maybe all pros. They won Super Bowls as well. They have more passing yards. They have maybe their touch. I'm not exactly sure, but Brady. If Brady's in there and Eli Manning's in there, Brady's going. It doesn't matter if Eli beat him twice or not. Right? If Drew Brees is in there and Eli's in there, I think Drew Brees has got the nod because of all the passing yards and everything he has. Ben Roethlisberger has a better winning percentage than Eli does. So he would go in. So what you don't want, it would be for Eli to go in there, going head to head against another quarterback. You'll notice those final 15 guys. Now, there's no rule. Well, it's another year. We have to put a quarterback in. No, you don't. But you'll notice, right? There was no other quarterback in that there. You look. You got some good guys in here. Don't get me wrong. You got some, right? That I don't want to sound like a jackwagon. Don't get me wrong. All these guys are worthy of it and all. But there's like no Barry Sanders there. There's no Jim Brown. There's no Lawrence Taylor. There's no Jerry Rice. There's nobody who's like, oh my God, You know, I mean, there's no, like, oh, you know, it just blows your mind. Oh, that guy's going in. There's nobody there. That's kind of like, I mean, they all certainly deserve to be in, but to me, there's no, I mean, there's no like greatest player of all, to me, right? There's a bunch of good players there, and they all certainly deserve to go into the Hall of Fame, right? So whoever gets picked, good for them. They deserve to go in. But I said, but the nice thing is you'll notice with Eli, there's no other quarterback he's going head to head with. Now, I don't know. I should have looked, but I don't know if, like, say, maybe next season, who might wind up trying to, you know, what other quarterbacks might wind up being eligible for the Hall, right? But I mean, if Eli's going to go in, this would be a perfect time for Eli to go in because there's nobody. I said, you can look at like his overall winning percentage, his touchdowns, interceptions, He's never been he's been in Pro Bowls, but never been an all pro. You know, that's one of the things that they look at. You know, have you been, you know, are you like the top 2 or so in the entire league for 1 or 2 seasons or 3 seasons? You know, have you been an all pro, not a Pro Bowler, all pro? No, he wasn't. I mean, so that's one of the things. But one of the things they always ask is that, you know, when did you make it to a big game? And when you were in a big game, how did you do? And hands down, absolutely no question, no doubt about it. In the biggest of the biggest of the biggest, right? He went up against the GOAT 2 times, took him down 2 times. And not only that, he was the MVP both times. But it was also kind of like, in a way, right? You take Tom Coughlin took a football, handed it to Eli and said, Eli, we're in the Super Bowl, buddy. See the football? All right. It's the last time you're going to touch that football this season. You have one more chance. If you don't go down the field and score, you lose. No pressure, right? Now, of course, in the one game, the second Super Bowl 46, we only needed a field goal. We wound up getting a touchdown. We only needed a field goal. But the other one, we're down 14-10 against a team that was 18-0, right? So, and it was like basically pretty much like, all right, Eli, you got one shot, brother. If you don't score a touchdown, we lose. No biggie, right? So, and what happened both times, you know, the Manningham pass to me is obviously one of the greatest in Super Bowl history. The other one with Tyree is you can kind of go both ways. I mean, the dude caught the ball on his helmet. I mean, is that precision, pinpoint accuracy? But I mean, you know. But I mean, is it an incredible Super Bowl highlight? Absolutely, sure is. But you know, so when Eli was at the top, I'm saying was, you know, at the biggest, the highest moment, right, in the biggest game, right? What did he do? He came through. Not once. He said, well, even a blind squirrel can catch a nut every now and then. No, he did it twice, right, against the GOAT, 2 times against, maybe you can say, the GOAT of a coach and the GOAT of a player, right? 2 times. So to me, there's no question that the guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, right? If you're putting Joe Namath in there, who did it for 1 game, you got to put Eli Manning in there. No doubt about it. Joe Namath is in there because he won Super Bowl 3. He guaranteed it. He was the MVP. He never even threw a pass. Super Bowl 3. He never even threw a pass in the 4th quarter. He just kept handing the ball off. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Matt Snell ran 1 in, right? I can't remember, it was 3-4 yards out or whatever. I mean, he didn't throw a touchdown pass, didn't throw, you know, but he really engineered one of the biggest upsets in Super Bowl history. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame, right? Without that game, Joe Namath's not in the Hall of Fame, right? So why is Joe Namath? Because he did for one game, right? So if you're putting Joe Namath in there, you got to put Eli Manning in there without a question. All right, so good for him, and keep on. I feeling good for Eli, feeling good. All right, so now, of course, you're talking once again. Let's talk about our weekly injuries for the New York Football Giants. They only ruled 4 guys out for the game. That's all. Only 4 guys. No biggie, right? Once again, another, you know, another long, lengthy injury list for the Giants, and 4 players have been ruled out. It's just unbelievable. All right, so we got here. Giants declare 4 out for Sunday's game against the Colts. All right. Tyrone Tracy Jr., an ankle, was able to practice Friday on a limited basis after missing the last 2 days of practice with his injury. He is good to go for Sunday's game against the Colts, having not received an injury designation. So that's good because you also, you also want you want Malik Neighbors and you want Tyrone Tracy Jr., right? You want both those guys to eclipse the 1,000-yard mark. And if you can do it, if they can both do it in 16 games, that would be fantastic. Not the 17th game one. If we can do it in 16 games, that would be really, really great because that would then equal the 2006 where Reggie Bush and Marcus Colston did it for the Saints. They did it in 16 games. So this is big. Let's get some yards for Tracy. Let's get some yards for Malik Neighbors, right? And let's get both those guys over the 1,000-yard, right? But it says also, but Malik is he's listed as questionable, so not doubtful though. Doubtful obviously means you got whatever, a 20-25% chance of playing. Questionable means at least a 50% chance, and so he's looking for his first 1,000-yard season. He told reporters on Thursday that he'll likely be a game-time decision. So let's hope the guy can go. That would be fantastic if both those guys in this game could get 1,000 yards. So Malik's seems like a real tough cookie. He's a dog. He wants to play. So if he gets a chance, let's hope the guy gets out there. But I mean, once again, it's the same thing. It's like Malik is like with all. I mean, how many different injuries? And now he has a toe. He had a hip. He had a groin. He had a concussion. Now he's got a toe. I mean, I could swear he had something else too. I mean, just one thing after the other. Guys just can't stay healthy. It's absolutely amazing. 4 other starters missed their 3rd days of practice this week and have been declared out. The 4 players are John Michael Schmitz, so I guess Van Roten confirmed that Greg Van Roten, who popped up on the injury report Thursday with a knee issue that left him limited in Thursday's practice, will get to start at center. So GVR will be the center for the Giants. So, but you got John Michael Schmitz with his ankle, he's out. Greg Stroman with a shoulder and a shin, he's out. Defensive back Raheem Lane with a knee. Yeah, I already tore his meniscus, and he's put on IR, and all of a sudden, somehow he's making this miraculous comeback, but he's out. So there's a possibility he might play in the Eagle game. So who knows? And inside linebacker Micah McFadden with a neck. So, I mean, it's just, you got Bobby Okereke, and this is, we're going to talk more about this, but in our game preview portion. But Dable also confirmed that Greg Van Roten, all right, he'll be the center. Dable added the inside linebacker Deontay Johnson. Will likely see a good number of snaps. If he's the inside linebacker, Micah McFadden and Bobby Okereke on the field, on playing. Yeah, I think so, right? As will Ty Summers. He also said that guard Austin Schlootman, who is currently in his 21-day window after being designated to return from IR, could be activated. So the Giants injury report. Aaron Stinney with a concussion. He was full participation, but this was on Wednesday. Drew Lock with his shoulder. He was limited. Corey Durden, a defensive tackle. He did not participate. This is on Wednesday, though. The shoulder. Dane Belton. He was limited with a knee. Malik Neighbors did not participate with a toe. Drew Phillips. He was limited with a knee. Austin Schlottman with a fibula. He was full participant. John Michael Schmitz. He's out. Obviously, Greg Stroman with a shoulder and a shin. Raheem Lane with a knee. Micah McFadden with a neck. Tyrone Tracy Jr. with an ankle. He looks like he'll be good to go. Jermaine Illuminor with a wrist. Jordan Riley with a knee. Armin Watts with a shoulder. D. Williams with a toe. And Greg Van Roten with a knee. Those are all the guys on the injury report for the Giants. The Colts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The Colts have 12 players. Mo Ali Cox, Jalen Carlos, Anthony Richardson. We're going to go over that. AJ Speed, Julius Brents, Jalen Jones, Quentin Nelson, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, DeForest Buckner, Ryan Kelly, and Grover Stewart. So a lot of those guys, Buckner, Kelly, and Stewart, they all they're on the list, but they were just getting rest days. That's all they were getting. So I mean, you know, as you look here with the Colts, they have 3 guys. So the Colts have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 6 guys who are questionable. They have nobody who's listed out. 6 guys are questionable. Giants have 1, 2, 3, 4. Giants have 4 guys are out and 4 guys are questionable. So, but I mean, as far as the Colts, looks like the Colts are like full steam ahead. They got some guys are questionable, but usually when you're questionable, you got a good shot at winding up playing. Right? But once again, a long laundry list. And as we're putting guys on injury reserve, and we're still getting guys coming in. It's just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But thankfully, we only got one after this week, right? We only have 1 game left. It'll be very, very interesting to see that final game of the season against the Eagles, because you're not sure what the Eagles are going to wind up doing. Like if they beat the Cowboys, they're going to have that backup quarterback in there, though, because Jalen Hurts is not going. So if they do beat the Cowboys, they'll win the division. And if the final week of the season, if they can't help or hurt their playoff position, and if they're locked in at, say, number 2 seed or whatever, and they don't need that game, it'll be very interesting to see what the Eagles wind up doing with their starters. Now, the thing is like, if they're trying to get, say, Saquon to run wild and get as many yards as humanly possible, which is possible, they might put him in, and they might put all their guys in there, and if he maybe breaks the record or something like that, then maybe pull him out. But it'll be interesting to see, because they don't want to get their guys hurt. I don't think their quarterback is the Jets' biggest need. I don't think quarterback is. Well, they got a lot of needs. My goodness. Woo! Well, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, is Aaron Rodgers going to come back next season? I mean, you can see he's even there. He's got Devontae Adams there. I mean, he's got Wilson, he's got Adams, he's got Rodgers throwing him the ball, and they're still, man. And I thought their defense was supposed to be really good this year. It's been a little bit disappointing. But with the Eagles, that's going to be very interesting to see what they do that final game of the season. Very, very interesting. And I said I would, because the Eagles are scumbags, absolute scumbags. I wouldn't put it beside them to, let's rest our guys, right? Especially if they don't need the game. Let's rest our guys, okay? Maybe the Giants will win the game, and then I'll take the Giants from pick number 1, where they can get anybody they want to draft. Let's have them slide down the board. Yeah. Let's screw the Giants over, right? So I wouldn't doubt that at all. Wouldn't doubt that one bit. But let's go over here real fast. I mean, as if we even need to even. No chance Hurts or Barkley plays. Well, they can't afford. Well, I mean, because Hurts, obviously he's not playing this week. He definitely want him in there, right? But they certainly don't want to. I mean, as you see what Barkley's been to them, what Barkley's meant for them. They don't want to lose him, boy. That would really, really hurt. Really, really hurt, big time. So we'll have to wait and see. But we're talking about this game here. The one thing is now the focus has kind of changed a little bit, because Joe Flacco is going to be the starting quarterback. Anthony, I still can't believe the dude did this. I really, really can't believe this. Anthony, I tap out Richardson, won't be playing. So you're going from, a running quarterback, who is not. Do I have this here? Is that the call? Okay. Obviously he's still young. You can still develop him and mold him and all that and everything. But, so far things are, the dude's an unbelievable athlete. No doubt, no question about that. but he's completing 47% of his passes. He has 8 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Somehow, in his 11 games, they actually have a winning record. He's completing 47% of his passes, and they're 6-5. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco is completing 66% of his passes, almost 20% more, is 1-3 in his games. Joe has thrown for 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and he has a losing record somehow. I don't get it. But the one thing is now instead of having like maybe 2, what does Richardson have as far as rushing? I mean, because the dude's he has 499 yards. What's he averaging? 5.8 yards an attempt. Okay, so we don't have to worry about Joe Flacco, that's for sure. We do have to worry about Jonathan Taylor. Now, the thing is that, going into this game, if Richardson was the quarterback, you were not going to have to, hopefully worry too much about being picked apart with their passing game. So, they got a bunch of guys that have double-digit receptions, but they got Pittman, who has 54 receptions, and Josh Downs, who has 59 receptions. I mean, that's pretty much all. They got Jonathan Taylor has 15. Alec Pierce has 29 receptions. Mitchell, another wide receiver, has 21. Trey Sermon has got 14. Tyler Goodson's got 10. Mo Ali Cox has got 12. Kylan Granson has got 10. So they got a lot of guys who got double digits, but they only got 2 guys who have 50 receptions. They got 2 wide receivers that have 50 receptions. So let's see. Their big is Josh Downs has 687 yards receiving on the season. Even the Giants have a receiver that has more yards than that, and that's not too good, right? So they got what they got. They got 3 guys. Now with Alec Pierce, though, you got to be careful. He has only 29 receptions, but he has 645 yards. He's averaging 22.2 yards a reception. He has 5 touchdowns, and so does Josh Downs. They got 17 receiving touchdowns on the season, right? Which is not a ton. But then again, the Giants don't have a ton either, right? Joe Flacco is only good when teams expect Richardson to play. I think the run is only effective because of his running. Well, the Giants don't have to worry about that then. So that's good. But, the one thing they do have to, is with Taylor running, he's averaging 4.8 yards a carry. The Giants don't have a Carrick in there, right? Mike McFadden's not going to be in there, and Dexter Lawrence. So pretty much the heart and soul of the middle is totally right. So we're going to have Johnson in there, the linebacker, possibly got Muasow in there. We're going to have, so it's not going to be easy. It's certainly not going to be. Taylor, what's he got? Is it 1,100 yards? He has 1,129 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns, 4.8 yards a carry. He's averaging 94 yards a game. He's averaging about 20 rushes a game. He catches 1 pass a game, so you don't have to worry too much about him in the passing department. But it's the run. But Richardson is a viable threat. That is for darn sure. And that might be why Richardson actually has a winning record, and he has a horrible passing completion, while Joe Flacco has a very good passing completion, but has a 1-3 record. So that's quite possible. It's almost the kind of, in a small way, almost kind of like the Lamar Jackson effect, right? Right. Lamar's a very good passer. Don't get me wrong there, but it also, because you don't know, when a guy's back there, is he going to run or is he going to throw? Is he going to take off or is he going to? So it's the same thing with Richardson. Is he going to run? Is he going to throw? It makes it a different ball game. That's for sure. When you got, 72-year-old Joe Flacco back there throwing, you're not worried about him taking off. Maybe he might scramble from time to time and maybe try to pick up a first down or something, but. For the most part, he's going to be a statue. This would be a great time for the Giants to try to get in there and try to get a pass rush on the guy. But the Giants' pass rush has been rather absent, shall we say, over the last however many games. Remember the beginning of the season, the Giants had all these sacks, leading the league in sacks and all that stuff and everything, and now it's just, I guess, obviously not having Sexy Dexy in there hurts as well, is hurts. So there's just some storylines here. This is Colts versus the Giants. 5 biggest storylines for Week 17. Oh, here we go. More infamy awaits. Will the Giants, a franchise record 10-game losing streak and a 7.5-point underdog to the pedestrian Colts in this game? Wow. Will they go 0-9? Besides furthering their dubious record with their loss on Sunday, the Giants can become the first team in NFL history to go 0-9 at home in a single season. They will also set a franchise high for losses in a single season with 14. They are 0-8 at home this year, which is already a franchise record because they beat the 74 season when the Giants were 0-7 because back then they only played 14 games. You can't be 0-8 in a 14-game schedule because you only play 7 home games. So Giants ownership will be spared the indignity of more flyovers, pulling banners carrying disparaging and suggestive messages. The weather will be rainy with a low ceiling, which has grounded all non-essential air traffic in the area on Sunday. So we reported earlier this week that several banners were scheduled to fly over MetLife Stadium this Sunday. One of the banners would have read, "Mr. Mara, enough, clean house or sell the team." Another would have played into the mysterious drone phenomenon, reading, "Are drones searching for Giants wins at home?" The flight cancellations won't likely end this week. The Giants play down in Philadelphia next Sunday to close out the season, and there have been rumors that the banners could emerge in the sky down there. Neighbors is questionable. So this would be a huge hit to the Giants if Malik can't go. Giants star rookie wide receiver Malik Neighbors with a toe is listed as questionable for Sunday's game after practicing in a limited fashion on Friday. Neighbors is one of the few reasons for fans to watch the game these days. He has the Giants franchise record with 97 receptions this season, which is the 5th highest total by a rookie in NFL history. And he's doing it on a horrible team, horrible offense, and he has 97 receptions. And he actually missed time, right? Remember that concussion? Or he'd have well over 100 receptions by now. It was going for his 13th game with 5 or more catches, tied for the most by a rookie in NFL history. He's the only player ever with 50 or more receiving yards in 12 of his first 13 career games. Neighbors and running back Tyrone Tracy Jr. become the 3rd pair of rookie teammates, each with 1,000-plus scrimmage yards in NFL history, and the first since 2006. Well, they keep talking about in NFL history. Well, it's not NFL history because the other one was Robinson and Abner Haynes did it for the Dallas Texans, who became the Kansas City Chiefs. So they did it. That was in the AFL. That was not the NFL. That was in 1960, the AFL. So as far as I know, it's only been done one other time in the NFL, which was the Saints in 2006. But Giants head coach Brian Daboll was named the NFL Coach of the Year back in 2022. Since then, the Giants have gone 8-24 and are the worst team in NFL in many statistical areas. John Mara gave both Daboll and general manager Joe Schoen a vote of confidence back in October after the Giants got to a 2-5 start. The team hasn't won a game since then and has to wonder how much confidence Mara has left in the duo at the moment. The worst scoring team in franchise history? Nope. No, it's not. The Giants are averaging 14.3 points per game this season, dead last in the NFL. They don't have an offensive explosion over the past 2 games. They will be closing in on several franchises' lows when it comes to scoring. Since the NFL expanded their schedule to 16 games in 78, the fewest points scored by Giants team was 237 in 1979. They have just 215 points through 15 games this season. They would need to score 23 points against the Colts this week to avoid tying or setting the franchise loss for most points over 16 games. They go winless in their final 2 games. They will finish 2-15, their worst record since 1966, when obviously they were 1-12-1. So a lot of sorry. So then there's one other thing here. You want to go over here? 10 things to watch for the Giants versus the Colts. That's if you want to watch. Good old Drew Lock starts once again. Between him and Tommy DeVito with their injuries is just unbelievable. So apparently we're going to have Drew Lock starting, right, going up against that Joe Flacco, and Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan at the undrafted free agent play. Oh yeah. Oh, would a giant win drop them undrafted? Oh yeah, big time, absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, with their schedule, with their strength of schedule, the Giants' strength of schedule, if they would win a game, they would go from like 1 down to like number 6 or 7. I mean, they would plummet quite a bit, just like the Raiders did. The Raiders won a game and they won, and they went up to 3 wins, and they went from 1st down to 6th with their strength of schedule. So, yeah. So if the Giants were to win a game, they'll fall to like 6 or 7 or something. It depends upon the other team. Any of the other teams, like the Browns or any of those other, whatever, they wind up winning a football game. But if they fall into a pack with a bunch of other 3-win teams, their strength of schedule, the Giants have a tough strength of schedule, so that's going to make them fall to like number 6 or 7 or something like that. And there'll easily be at least 3 or 4 other teams in front of them that will need a quarterback. So you can almost forget about the Giants taking a quarterback if they were to win a football game. So, but that might be a good thing. You don't know. All right. Then we got all-time series. The Giants, let's see here. Let's see. The Giants won the last meeting. Sunday's game will be the 18th regular season meeting between the Giants and the Colts. The Colts lead the series, all-time series, at 10-7. I went over the injury report. Phillips has a lot of upside. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So there's Tracy, right? The Phillips, rookie 3rd-round pick, has played in 12 games with 6 starts this season. I don't know why he only has 6 starts. I mean, I find that so hard to believe, including 61 tackles, 1 sack, 7 tackles for a loss, 1 quarterback hit, 2 forced fumbles. Heading week 17, Phillips found himself among Pro Football Focus's top cornerbacks this season, due in part to his strong play in the run game. Phillips returned to the field this past Sunday after missing the previous 2 games and finished with 6 tackles, including 1 tackle for loss. The slot corner has made a strong impression on the coaching staff. Oh yeah, we need another cornerback like him. If we get another cornerback, oh man, that'd be fantastic. Kayvon's progression. After missing 5 games in the middle of the season due to his injury, outside linebacker Kayvon Thibodeaux has been a welcome addition to the defense over the past month. Well, Thibodeaux has at least 1 quarterback hit in 9 of the 10 games he's played this year, and a total of 13 on the season, with 5 of them coming in the last 4 games. Well, I'd like to see some sacks still. I'd really like to see some sacks, but Darius Muisow is playing fast. Also one of the things too is that with a lost season like this, Justin Fields is good. Well, Fields could be a quite possibly could be one of our bridge quarterbacks, right? I think he might be available next season. I think him and Russell Wilson might be available. I don't know if we're going to want Russell Wilson, but Justin Fields. Yeah, if we don't draft, or if we draft, say, Milroe or somebody in the 2nd or 3rd round or something like that, and you want to bring him in and try to mold him or whatever, Justin Fields. He's not going to cost you a ton of money, right? And he could be a very good bridge quarterback who certainly brings some excitement to the New York Giants fan base without question. Without question. So, interesting to see. But the one thing is, like with a game like this, with Darius Muisow or some of these other guys and all, they're getting some valuable playing time. Valuable or invaluable, right? Playing time. This is going to serve Darius well. 6th-round pick. He's played well. I mean, I'm not saying the guy's a Hall of Fame or an All-Pro and all like that, but he's played well. He's got him on special teams, but these reps for him are huge. Absolutely huge. If he gets, especially at the following week, he goes up against the Eagles and that offensive line, if they play him, if they start him at all, that's valuable. I'm not saying he's Ray Lewis or nothing like that, but, it's going to help him because we always need good quality depth at all the positions and having, if McFadden or Carrick or whatever gets dinged up, if we have Musal we can put in there, that would be huge. Oh, you think so? No, that's a shame. Well, you kind of want to. I mean, Wilson didn't look particularly. I mean, and the Chiefs are good, so. But yeah, he didn't look particularly fantastic against the Chiefs. So you're kind of wondering if, because he was on the cheap this year, right? Wilson. I think next year, because I guess the Broncos are still paying his salary. So next year, Wilson might want some money if he's going to go with someplace. I don't know if the Steelers are going to want to pay him a boatload of money. But be interesting to see where Fields winds up going. Let's see where we got here. Jake Kubas is the latest rookie to step up. Good old Jake. Yeah, once again, somebody like him, the 24-year-old played well in the run game and was credited with just one total pressure allowed on 44 pass and block snaps, according to Pro Football Focus. Now, once again, undrafted free agent from North Dakota State is very good in the run game. He could use to maybe get a little more strength or bulk up a little bit more, but. Once again, if he gets in there and plays, those reps would be invaluable for him. And somebody to be excited. I'm not saying the guy's a Hall of Fame, All Pro, and all like that, but maybe somebody who might stick with the Giants, right? And if nothing else, he could be maybe some good quality backup for the Giants, right? But if you look at PFF, his run blocking grades by PFF are really, really good. Really, really good. All right, there we go. What else we got here? Brian Burns' leadership. Now, I'll tell you what, I love the Burnsy. Guys plays nicks and banged up and all this stuff and everything. All the guy does is go out there and plays his heart out, That's all he does. Great pickup. Really, really great pick. I'm very, very happy. Yeah, I wonder if the guy can stay healthy. I mean, he's been banged up since training camp. He's always been something wrong with him, even in training camp. The guy comes out, all he does is bust his butt on game day. I love it. But it'd be amazing if maybe one of these times, maybe next year, maybe he can stay somewhat healthy. It'd be fantastic. But Brian Burns is a fantastic player. I'm really, really happy we signed him. Really, really happy. And then they talk about here another one, scouting the Colts defense, which is, Colts jumped out to last week against the Titans, a 38-7 lead. I mean, the Colts defense is not, they gave up. I think they actually gave up a little bit more than the Giants. They gave up like 24 points a game. So, yeah, we're not talking, the 2000 Ravens defense here or nothing, But I mean, that might happen. That's possible. Yep, Sam Darnold. Oh yeah, that's possible. Absolutely. That's certainly a name to keep an eye on. That's for darn sure. Sam Darnold in the offseason. Hopefully, though, with Sam Darnold, because when he was with the Jets, didn't do too good. When he was with Carolina, didn't do too good. Then he went to Minnesota, he's doing good. Now, if they let him go, if we pick him up, what can we do with him? Are we going to get the good Sam Darnold? Or are we going to be able to get the good Sam Darnold? Or are we going to get something in between? That's something. So I'm saying, so if the Giants don't draft a quarterback, there'll certainly be a bridge quarterback out there, one or two that Giants can at least try to go out and get, without question. But the Colts defense is not super phenomenal. I mean, as I said, they're giving up 24 points a game. But unfortunately for the Giants offense is not very good. So. Yeah, there's a chance. You tell me there's a chance. We could put up some points this week. But I thought last week when we were up 7-3, again, not that we were going to win the game, but when we were like 7-3, I'm like, what? We're winning. Oh my God, this might be a close game or something. And I mean, you look at the past. I mean, there was obviously we've had a couple close games in the past. But I mean, you looked at the Raven game, right? You look at the Buccaneer game. Well, we're down 23-0 at halftime. I mean, the game against the Falcons, against a rookie quarterback, and all just. Whew. But the one thing is with this game coming up, right? The game against the Colts, right? They're nothing super special, right? Certainly the Giants are nothing super special either. But that's why you play the games. You have no idea what the final score. I mean, I could be talking 24 hours from now, talking about a review of the game, and the Giants lose 31-3. Certainly can happen, but you don't know what's going to happen. That's why you play the games. If you knew what was going to happen, you don't even bother playing, right? A bad bounce here for the Colts, a bad call there, this, that, the other thing, or whatever. Anything. A block pass that gets tipped up in the air to a Giant, he runs it in for a touchdown, or what? Anything, right? Anything can happen, right? Maybe the Giants. I don't want to say win, but it could be a good game. That's why you play the games on any given Sunday. Anything's possible. And when you have a really bad team at home, and you got a mediocre team on the road, anything's possible. Now, I've said this before. Look at Drew Lock, right? He's not on the Giants. He's not signed for the Giants for next season. He's a free agent. What's he going to want to do in this game? Is he going to want to throw like 13 more pick sixes, or is he going to want to go out there and ball and win? Because his financial future, some of it is based on this game. If they just if the team's next, you keep seeing him throw pick sixes and he gets fumbles the ball and incomplete and all that, what's he going to make next year? The amount of teams that's going to want him on their roster, it's going to really shrink, and the amount of money he's going to get is really going to shrink. He's going to want to go out there and ball. He's going to want to win the game. He's going to want to throw 3-4 touchdown passes, no interceptions, 300 yards. That's what he's going to want to do, because it's all on his resume. Everything's on his resume, right? So when next year rolls around, if the Giants don't want him back, some other team will look what he did against the Colts last year. We're not going to pay him $10 million a year, but we'll be the backup. All right, that's cool. We'll be the, So, I mean, everybody on the Giants, this is all on their resume. Nobody's going out there and saying, well, we need to tank for a good draft pick. Because if you play bad, you might get cut. If you can play bad, you'll be on the sideline. These guys go through all this crap all season long so they can play the football game. So ain't nobody tanking. Anything can happen on any given Sunday. So it is what it is. All right, guys. It's been 1 hour and 32 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.